Hey guys, what's going on? It's Don here from Novaspirit Tech and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be checking out the Acemagic AM08. So let's get started. Now, mini PCs like this are getting more and more powerful compared to when we used to have them. Maybe 10 years ago, they were like 2 gigs of RAM or 4 gigs of RAM max, and you could barely fit a Celeron in there just to keep the heat dissipation down. Now, it's definitely not like this within the past couple of years. Some of these mini PCs are getting so powerful where you can actually use them for gaming. Now, Acemagic has released 2 models of this, which is the AM08 non-Pro version with the Intel 11th Gen i9 11900H. versus their Pro version, which has an AMD Ryzen 9 6900HX. Now that's their gaming version, while this one is their mighty version or the work version. Now I plan to turn this into a mini server, so my choice of using this versus the Pro version is dependent on utility. Now if you're planning to build a gaming machine out of this, you can if you use the Pro version. It does have AMD GPU, the Radeon 680M, which is a decent enough GPU for you to play a certain amount of games. But for this, the mighty version or the non-Pro version, this has the Intel UHD graphics, which is not too strong. I mean, for server purposes, it's fine, but for gaming, yeah, it's not there. Now, I do like the design of this. I do like the look of it in the front and on the sides with the RGB and everything. My particular interest is this knob that they have in top that you could actually set between auto, silent, or performance, which changes the fan speed to really loud or really low. Now in front, you do have an audio port, 2 USB 3.0s and a USB-C. And in back, you have also 2 USB 3s, 2 HDMIs, gigabit Ethernet, and then your power cord on the bottom. Now opening this up, you can see it's easily expandable for the RAM as well as the NVMe storage, and it still has a slot for SSD. Now the version that I had, like I said, has an Intel i9 11900H, which has a max boost speed of 4.9 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM. It also does support Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. Now Windows is pre-installed right now, so I'm going to be running all my benchmarks off there and I'm going to show you what the numbers are. Now, first off, for 3D Mark, it's 760, which is a very, very low score for a GPU, but you are using the Intel UHD. And for the CPU score, it's got 7083 from 3D Mark, which is not bad. The CPU is actually really powerful. Now moving on to PC Mark, you get a score of 4890, which is again a really good score for the CPU. It's not the fastest on the market, but then again, it is a mobile CPU, so you are getting pretty good performance out of this in this mini PC. For Cinebench, we have 3272, which is right between the lines of a Ryzen 7 first generation 8 core, slightly under, which is what we're using right here, and faster than an Intel Xeon E52667 version 2, which is not too bad. Like I said, I was planning to turn this into a home lab or a mini server myself, so the CPU is definitely right up in par. Now, as far as the storage goes, it does use NVMe and it is using PCIe 3. So we are getting 3,452 on the read and 2,689 megabytes on the write, which is pretty decent for the speed that you're getting on this NVMe. Now, they do include a software that you could control the RGB, which is their lighting control software. You can set it to auto, you can have on or off. Rainbow, which gives you all the colors under the rainbow. Breathe, which it gets brighter than darker, brighter than darker. I generally just leave it in auto and let it do its thing. It doesn't really bother me with the light, even though it looks really cool, but depending on what I'm going to be using, I might not even see this that much. Now, popping into some gaming performance, we're going to take a look into Armored Core 6, which is a game that I've been recently playing and I love it. I haven't gotten into Starfield yet, but I want to finish this game before I jump into another game or I'm going to get all confused. So yeah, we're going to be testing Armored Core 6, which I could tell you it's not going to do very well because this game is pretty demanding. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to use Windows key G. If you guys don't use this, this is a pretty good tool. I'm just going to pin my GPU performance. Whoops. Let's pin that again. Pin my GPU performance, and then you can kind of see what's going on. And then I'm going to have the FPS loaded right over here. All right, there we go. So for now, we have 50 frames per second. I think it's the limitation of my recorder. Because I got a limit frame rate of 60, so it should be able to do 60. Now I'm going to continue off one of the games that I'm going on. I just finished chapter 1, so, and this game, I got to tell you, it's not easy. So into the loading screen of my bot, you could see it's only doing about 14 frames per second, which is terrible. So we're gonna jump into some training, and no, not training. I'm actually gonna go do some AC testing. You can see 14 frames per second is actually like unplayable. All right, so here we go. We're just loaded into the game. It's about 24 frames per second. I don't even know what my loadout is. Why isn't my loadout doing this? Okay. I think I was playing around with something. Let's see if I could drop in an enemy. And we'll do an AC trainer model. And we'll see where that goes. Oh my god, it's so slow. Okay, there you go. Why do I have a blade? This is not my setup at all. Oh, I know why, because I've been playing on my Steam Deck without internet, and I don't think it's saved the file yet, because I'm way further than this. And my bot doesn't even look like this anymore. But as you can see, it is playable, but it's 25 frames per second. It's a little bit slow. I'm not a huge fan of it, being able to play on this, but it does work. It is using 1080. Don't mind me, I keep pressing the wrong button because this is not my normal setup for my bot. And there we have it, about 25 frames per second. Again, which is not ideal to play a A+ game like this. Yeah, I have way more hours than this. Next game we're gonna try, which is not as demanding, which is Risk of Rain. This is a game that I actually play a lot of. I actually enjoy this game a lot. I play this with my son, so we're just bouncing around, killing stuff. It's a lot of fun. If you ever wanted a good co-op game, Risk of Rain 2 is a really good co-op game. On the loading screens, like right now, it's about 30 frames per second. It's fine. Let's see how much it will be. 15, 38. Okay. It's definitely playable at 30 frames per second. Okay. This is not the character I usually choose. I don't even know how to dash anymore. Okay, there you go. I'm just playing with a controller right now. If you guys never played this game, it's really fun. Basically, it's all RNG. You go in and you collect some money, right? Say you collect 20 bucks or 25 bucks, and then you could go in. Still not enough money. $28. So now I have enough money to kind of go to one of these chests. Where was it? Right here. And you could purchase this. You'll unlock something, and now you increase attack or whatever it is, depending on your build. But again, it's all RNG. Sometimes you might get really good stuff, sometimes you don't. Again, I don't really use this character, so I'm not too familiar with this build. Anyway, that is it for the Acemagic AM08. Depending on what you're planning to use this for, you do have the Pro version or the Mighty version. And again, if you're planning to use this more for a desktop, browsing, home lab, the Mighty version might be something you're looking into. Or if you want to get this into some mini PC gaming where you could actually play some of these titles at like 30 frames, 50 frames, or 60 frames per second, you might want to look into the Pro version, which is the gaming version. Now, I will be doing another video on this where I completely wipe out the operating system, install whatever I need to do to turn this into a mini server. So if you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing and also hitting that bell notification icon so you know when the next video is going to be out. And I say in my nerd cave, hack till it hurts.